The other day, I caught a glimpse of the brand new moon, this tiny sliver in the sky, and it got me thinking. And I happened to have my sound recorder on me, so I recorded some thoughts, about 6 minutes of them. And that was before the Russia crash in the lunar India just mission debacle. And again, those things continue to further prove that the moon is an absolute mystery, and they are not telling us even close to the accuracy of what it really is. So we have to continue to think and imagine what it is. And so I had a lot of ideas while I was observing the new moon. So just check them out. It's a fun little thing. I'd like to hear your ideas as well, but I'll probably do more of these videos where when inspiration hits, I just tap into my sound recorder, toss some thoughts on, and check out some images from Twitter that are from all the people either mocking or supporting the India moon landing, because it is ridiculous that they're trying to pull that off. And if anyone believes it, holy Lord. But you never know. Maybe they'll come up and put up some stuff in the future, and I'll eat my words and swallow my words, and they'll put up some real stuff. But the chances of that in 2023, the way the world is going, are slim to none. So we have to figure it out what it is, and there's a lot of theories out there. So this is going to add to it and just try to piece some of it together. And so I hope you all enjoy these theories and imaginative thoughts, because the truth is still out there. It's up for grabs. And so somebody's got to get it with their imagination or with actual science, real science, where people actually do things instead of just making them up for maximum profit. But here we go. Take a look at these memes and enjoy this ramblings. Bless you all. It's the first day of the new moon, and the same pattern of thought hits me that happens all the time, except with just the month's worth of, or the lunar cycle's worth of, new insight gained from wherever, my own thoughts, the internet of things, and talking to people, etc. But the new moon, every time, because right now it's about 7 o'clock. The new moon looks like a fingernail, and it's a little more today, so it might have been yesterday, it might have been the official first time it was visible. But for that several days before that, when there's nothing visible, and then you know how the moon works, but every hour it kind of shifts each night a little bit, and like when you see one night, an hour later will be around, an hour later will be, it'll be around that spot. And same with like kind of moon rises, which I saw recently. I'll try to include some pictures. But the moon it's a perpetual mind boggler. And so I always think, because some people have done experiments of putting a disc, which I do believe it is some form of disc, into a water, and I do believe there's water up there. And so when that happens, it's just a gradual thing. And so I was wondering if, maybe there's so many different thoughts that conjures up with the minds. Also in conjunction with the thoughts that the moon is a map, which I think works amazingly well with the idea of humans being bigger than us. If humans were bigger than us, the world would be bigger. Everything would, the whole plane, it would extend, but it would seem probably the same like proportions as what we see now. But there could be the giant trees, everything taken into effect. Then they'd probably be able to see better. These beings would be able to fly further. They'd be able to do all these things. So having a map of the world below in the sky is an ingenious idea for a master architect race of beings. And so I do believe that that's possible. Putting the map up there for travelers of this massive realm, which, let me state again, is infinitely wider and bigger in scope than they say it is, and deep, all over the place, in every dimension. Beyond us, I guarantee you, there are beings that are infinitely more advanced than us and have been going that way steadily since the dawn of humanity, whenever that was, however that was, etc. Back to the moon. But just seeing it go, it almost makes me wonder if, how they always say the tides are linked to the moon, but it's interesting when you try to prove it. But what if the tides are up there in the firmament, and that's what creates that moon difference? And so when it's low tide, or high tide, I don't even know which one, but the full moon would be out. And so that would be, this more is visible because the water of the firmament is maybe at a different level. Same with when there's a new moon, there's nothing visible at the moon, so maybe the waters are higher up there or lower, I don't really know. But it could explain also why we don't see the back of the moon, etc. It'd be interesting to see what India and Russia try to pull over everyone, because that's coming soon. They're coming up there, and a lot of people have been questioning that. A massive force of people have been questioning that. So it's going to be interesting to see what they try to pass off as being a moon. But either way, all the thoughts, the people using it as a distant thing, the map, it being a map, it makes total sense for an advanced race, millions of years old. And in general, it's just when it's invisible on those days of the new moon, it's like, why can't you ever see it? Why would you ever not? If it was a solid object, you would be able to see sky. On a clear day, you'd be able to see a blockage of sky or something. But you can never see any of it. And so that does make sense with the water and it rising above it or something, or getting out of view of this realm down here. And then you think about the sun. That one's perpetually visible. It doesn't go through phases. It's just probably a beam of energy or something just hitting that. And then it makes you wonder, what is revolving around? Are we on the ground revolving, which I'm not so sure of, or is the dome above? Or not really a dome, maybe just another flat zone, flat plane that goes on for probably ever, or maybe not. Who knows? So many different things come to mind every time I look at the new moon, and it always, every time, it makes me wonder, what the heck, where did it go? Because I would have been able to see it if the days were clear before, if I was somewhere where the moon's so obvious and then it just pops out, and I'm like, it never makes any sense, because I look up so often, and you'd think you'd see it. There's just always so much questions. They always come flooding back. And thanks to the community out there, I really thank you all for just, enhancing my imagination, helping enhance it, us talking with a bunch of you and getting on different paths of thought, seeing what's out there. It really helps, especially for an artist, just to gain a perspective on the potential, because that's what it's all about. I'm not going to settle on any of the beliefs until we know for sure, and I really feel like we are going to know. Whether it's we build things that take us to places and people finally start telling the truth, or we extend beyond the poles and we meet people, or beings that know the answers that we seek. And one of those methods, I pray, will come together in our lifetimes, and I hope it will. And if we keep pushing it and making people aware and questioning things, then let us know. And please, if someone has the answer to what happens to the new moon, anything about any of that, then please explain it, because I really don't get it. Or are there any pictures out there of the new moon where you can kind of see it in the background of sky? Because then it brings in the pictures of ancient pictures in the Islam, the symbols of the star in the sky, and people have taken pictures around the star and the moon and being in the same spot, not making any sense as a solid object or a plasma. So many different thoughts, so many different theories from so many different ages and so many different great minds, and it's about time we figure out the answers. So if anyone's got them, put them down there. Otherwise, let's keep on looking. Bless you all.